doing small activities in an organization. We do not need to just run directly to the data center point of view. We can start by, let's say, going for a paperless environment, changing your CRTs with LCDs, which is a gradual process. Moving to equipment which supports the green initiative, that is the new servers which are, let's say, coming, which use power consumption efficiently and also do not contribute to the carbon dioxide or the environment perspective. Or let's going for network switches or the connectivity equipment which is more green. So it is a gradual process from my point of view in an environment like Pakistan. I do not see companies immediately going for a huge investment in terms of data center by which they would really convert or want to convert to the green initiative. And it will take time probably in an environment like us. And if we do it on a step-by-step basis, that would be more beneficial for our organization.
While the power piece is absolutely a tangible way of saying that yes, that's a green initiative. But to my mind, is optimization not a green initiative? So I heard sir mentioning the fact that you have 5% utilization on a server. Wouldn't an intelligent tool or an IT tool be a green initiative if you could figure out in real time that in your infrastructure, which infrastructure is working at what resource utilization? Look at the other side of it. Somebody said, so you said that the storage piece is huge, right? And I agree with the fact that we're still buying storage by truckloads rather than boxes, right? There's another green initiative. When you look at all your laptop, desktop users, right? And you look at the kind of storage that they have. For getting that storage to run, right? You're consuming so much of power, consuming so much of management effort, you're consuming so much of security investments to keep that data secure. You're consuming too much of time and money on auditing the data, making it compliant, etc., etc. Wouldn't that optimization also lead you to green? And these are probably very small steps which you don't need to take on a change of technology perspective, right? You need to basically look at it from a context of one of your pieces of the technology and say, how do I optimize that? Do you see that as a green initiative as well?
Just like to add one thing on the green initiative, though. In our case, I don't want to talk about HQ because since other companies thing, but the green initiative, other companies doing this already. The hardware is coming with that, but especially with the power consumption as there. They be talking about hardware consolidation, when it serves to the storage. Consolidation to power consumption, that's green right there. It saves a lot of money. See, green equals to money right now. I'm sure a lot of companies here, they do talk about power tariffs. It's going up day by day. And your consolidation of your space, eliminating your space, that's there. With the consolidation, you get new technology coming in. For example, blade service, that's there. Then sharing resources, that's there. The whole thing is green right there. We are doing it. I'm sure other companies are also doing it. They're doing it in a bigger fashion though. But yeah, that's already there.
You really, because what you described is more like cost efficiencies and overall efficiencies of your IT management and the overall environment. I don't know much about green actually, never had a chance to look it up. But is that considered green really? I mean, because green to me is more on the energy side. For instance, air conditioning cost is killing us. So, I mean, 24/7, you're running 3 or 4 ACs. And on a lighter note, if I have my CPU working like crazy, isn't it dissipating more heat? So, maybe I don't want it to work.
But I think that is where the real challenge, right? Because at the end of the day, the green piece really comes down to the fact of how much cost you are putting on the energy side and how much cost you are putting on the carbon footprint that you are generating because of the energy consumption, right? Now, if you were to optimize in the first place, you would not need to run, for that matter, as many servers. If you optimize in the first place, you might not need to buy tons and tons of storage. So, I think to our mind as Nobel, we basically try to talk about green when Linux is also green, which we promote as an open source platform. But to our mind, I think green really translates into optimization. Because the moment you can optimize, the moment you can reduce your management cost, your costs around setting up new workloads, etc., it's all going to reduce energy consumption.
Actually, last quarter we had a pretty good deal on the blade server, our own blade server, micro blade server, and we have done a lot of in the different sector, defense sector. Talking about green, it's like they said, it's a very difficult thing to say how much power they need or what kind of data they have. Putting servers, that means it's no more green actually. And depending on how many, it's very difficult, especially for me to talk about green. I mean, the more we sell the servers, the better revenue actually we make. So that's what I can say about this. On the lightning node and HP, I mean, everybody say about green. Same question I asked everyone, how much wattage is consumed, and on the wattage side, I don't think anybody is working on that. It's like 500 watt or 10,000 watt. Everybody is, I mean, same like killing the ACs, and nobody's thinking about that.
Imran sir, you have a big smile on your face.
This is Imran from Engro. I would respectfully like to disagree with that. I think those of us who run large data centers, or at least busy data centers, for that matter, are very much concerned about the wattage part. Because being the electricity situation in Karachi or in South Pakistan, we literally rely on generators and other things to run our data centers. As it is, as Raman really pointed out, that air conditioning is a very big power part. So the next part is that we really have to start saving somewhere. And whether it's blades or racks or anything else, each watt counts in the end, aside from the data center physical space. So it does make a difference for us quite a bit.
Absolutely, and I think other than the wattage in such a large data center that you run, I think the physical footprint of the servers also make a big difference.
I think I'll just add more to what Imran said, that the large organizations running large data centers, we are looking at the dynamic infrastructure. Something that I had referred earlier during the discussion, the ILM part, which by its native definition is just the movement of data from multiple tiers of storage. Now we are talking about slicing the storage boxes between the high performance, low performance and very low performance, and making the storage available as per demand. So the more number of spindles going around, the more heat generated, so we would rather prefer to park the data on a very low performing hard drive. So all those initiatives are very much there. Decided, I'm sure some of the companies, and I'm sure Engro must be going to take the lead on that by using the other initiatives regarding in terms of the air conditioning, the byproducts of heat to be utilized, and after purification and ensuring that the right amount of contamination is being done and purification of air you inject it back into the data center. Today, the biggest problem coming to the greener side of it is that most of the buildings that host our data centers are not actually meant to host data centers. They've been customized. And for the very reason, the chillers plants that are being deployed are not meant, or either they're being very old, and see, that's how it all starts. For example, one of the initiatives that I've been talking about, the air conditioning plant, one of the initiatives could be that 9 to 5, when the bigger chillers, water-cooled chillers are working, you consume the air conditioning from those chillers, bring them to your data center. But unfortunately, we have a challenge to face that those buildings are either not having those chillers, or those chillers are being too old to be brought into the data center. Yes, apart from that, all measures are being taken to ensure that we become as green as possible, but there are certain constraints and challenges as well.
I just want to add one thing here, because I was talking about the green thing. I don't know how much statistics you know. In Pakistan, how many used computer versus the new computer we sell? 60% of the computer in Pakistan are sold used computer. And those computers are like using 280 to 300 watts per computer. I'm talking about PC. If you go to new technology, they are using about from 80 watt to 120 watt. And if we push the micro ATX or the mini micro ATX form factor, nobody buys it actually. Everybody wants to buy a tower casing or bigger computer, and they without realizing that how much watt is going to consume. So we're just talking about the data center or the green things, but what about the PC? in Pakistan, more than 600,000 computers were a used computer. And see how much water is used.
One of the things which is related with being green or brown is the toxic gases which are emitted by the computers. And if you reduce gases or toxic materials, then you are moving towards green. So we should see the redundancy because so many people have so many extra computers. Reduce the redundancy, reduce the energy and AC, whatever.
Actually, adding on that point, actually we are in Pakistan, we are overkilling the performance. If anybody wants to use Word, wants to run Word, Excel or little PowerPoint, they are buying like dual core with 2 GB and all this kind of thing. No, if you tell them to buy an Atom, which will cost you around 16,000 rupees or 18,000 or 20,000 rupees or 25,000 rupees, and which only consume like 70 to 80 watts, and I don't think anybody's going to buy it. No, but this is the training we need to give to people what the actual requirement is, rather than just buying the heaviest machine. I mean, it's still a benefit to us, but it's not.
I think I would just add a lighter side to that, and that's thank you to all of the hardware vendors because they never promote the Atom PC. Whenever they launch an i7, they make sure that it's on every billboard.
Exactly, you're right on that thing.
Yes, I do agree, and listening to basically talking about virtualization and then moving forward towards being data center. And I totally agree that in this environment when electricity bill is getting rooftops, that's also one of our main concerns. And that is something that we at the data center definitely are looking into and trying to find some ways we can sort things out. And to answer President Saab's your statement that definitely there are several structures that are not meant to be data center, but they have been customized. And I do agree to that, but if you look at it from a business perspective, if you just take if you just start building a data center ground up, most of the time it's very expensive in terms of providing a data center or a disaster recovery service to prestigious clients like.
You brought the discussion to the corner. I'm going to bring that question up to the floor. So will you please continue to ask that question again.
But just to answer Raj's question, these are few of our concerns also. And in order to answer our distinguished point that as a data center, we do provide complete data security and business continuity. So just from a data security standpoint, if the data moves out of physical premises, definitely it's still secure, and there are certain ways we can at least address to it if it needs to be more addressed by the specific client.
Yes, South, I shall now refer to you as the chair, because you have a question to pose to me.
The question that I wanted to ask, and I'm sure I would like our guest here to also contribute to that. My biggest concern that I have today in this part of the subcontinent that all the data center and facilities that we've been putting in place, by and large, are into non-customized, either commercialized business. We still tend to go and comply with the tier TIA standards, making it all claims. And at some point in time, I'm also going to make that all claim that I'm a tier certified data center of my own company. It means the company I work for and that I'm launching a company. How much contribution that we have made towards the UTI while making these standards to ensure that the countries like us who are underdeveloped, who cannot provision the infrastructure to the extent to which TIA 942 actually translates it and to comply to. What is our contribution to that? beside all of these green initiatives and all of that, we still very much lag because all of those standards that you see, by and large, most of the companies offering most of the facilities would not comply. And I see a lot of gap between this bodies making these standards and this part of the subcontinent, not realizing that what kind of challenges that we have. Let's say one of the requirements of the TIA is that having power from two power source companies. In this subcontinent, by and large, it's a government-owned area. You can't do self-power generation. I'm sure Imran could help it out because they've just recently launched Anglo Power, so they can have the second power generation, but by and large, you can't. We have other problems as well. Altogether, us as part of this part of the world, what initiative are we going to take to contribute to the standards? That's my question that I had for them.
So I think this is the best question of the evening. I think, again, I try to address it in two ways. First and foremost, we're not in the space of data center infrastructure. We prima facie are in the space of infrastructure software for the data center.
No, I tend to agree with that, but that question was a bit more generic, not specific to
Sure.
As all of us as part of the IT infrastructure enablers.
Sure. The other piece that I want to come in and try and see if I can address that question is prima facie from a context of saying that how do you look at those standards if you have to achieve it within your enterprise? Not only looking inside your organization, but also looking outside where some of the service providers might be providing that and leverage it in a manner where you could still have control on that environment. So I'm not really saying going and acquiring that service provider, but I'm basically saying how do you get into an environment wherein you could basically fulfill the compliance and the audit requirements of your certifications, but at the same time have complete control from a technology standpoint, from the infrastructure standpoint, working along with the service provider. The way to address it.
I agree with your point, but the problem is those companies or the infrastructure providers also belong to this part of the subcontinent. They actually come across the same challenges that we have.
So with limited knowledge, I am not very sure because I am someone who's a tier 4 data center service provider in Pakistan.
By this question, by no means or by margin, I wanted to challenge anyone tier certification.
That's very kind of you.
That is not the point, but the point was that I would like to raise the concern that I think as us as part of this subcontinent, I would not like to be part of that body who make up the judgment that who is tier 4 certified or not. That's not my area of domain, but rather a forum that would contribute and pass on the challenges that we have in this part of the subcontinent, that when the standards are being formed, at least they know that okay, they have to leave a bit of a room. All of the companies can't have a data center like NASA.
Sure, I agree, and we take forward your inputs into our body, which probably influences some of the standards. But coming back to the green data center piece, I think two of the technologies which we didn't talk about from a context of thought process. One is in terms of, I heard Vedal sir mentioning from Viper that PCs have a huge consumption of power. I'm not sure, but we seeing at other places, people really looking at what we call it as a role-enabled desktop infrastructure. In a common terminology, we are seeing that as a virtual desktop infrastructure, right? So we're really seeing a lot of enterprise organizations rolling out thin clients and other mobile devices, their users, pushing all the processing to the backend servers with leverage of virtualization and some of the other technologies, and getting the desktops virtualized. That's one way of they bringing down the power consumption of the PCs. The other piece that we're also seeing, which is becoming very interesting, and we again claim to be one of the leaders in that space, is around the technology of how do we make optimum utilization of CPU power from a context that it's not always that the OS needs the power from the CPU for processing the application or the request which comes from application. So if you look at SUSE Linux, we basically claim to provide customers with a technology called tickless idle, which means that if the processor or the OS sees that there's no process to be computed it basically brings down the power consumption of the CPU to near zero. Now, obviously, we work on that with some of the technologies that the hardware providers also bring in, so it works in conjunction with that. But that's another way of looking at how some of the big data centers are being built out today.
There's a lot of factors where we bring in, we already have. You have power capping actually. You power cap the whole of your hardware. Whatever is not being used, it goes to zero. So your power consumption is down.
Absolutely. I'm just saying this is another way of doing green data center. I'm not trying to say that we are the only guys doing this.
Would you like the CIOs to walk up so you're ready to have